Wrap it up on SportsBet. Betting Insight today. Time for the deep dive. The champs opened 11 with their win total to South Point. Other openers 11.5. Now up to 12.5. Under -120. 14-2 last year straight up. 13-3 ATS. And then 3-0 ATS in the playoffs too. How about that? 10-6 to the under as well. I don't know why they opened it up so low. But they think, well, Tom Brady going to be 40 years old. At some point he'll drop off. Not the case, but look at this. The defending champs have won 14, 12, 12, 12, 12, 13, 14, 10, 11, 16, 12, 10, 14, and 14 wins the last 14 years. Hard to bet under given those numbers. And worth noting, at 12.5 wins, the Patriots would be 6 overs, 8 unders the last 14 years instead of 12, 1, and 1 to the over. That was historic, Teddy, what they did ATS last year winning the Super Bowl.
Sure. Now, there's a lot of points to talk about here. And I want to go back to something we said earlier in the show about the Cavs and them laying 10 on the road at Boston. The markets adjust. So, yeah, Cleveland's won all those games in closeout situations, but the point spread just keeps on going up and up and up, and you're not getting the same type of lines now to back the Cavs in a closeout game as you were 2 years ago. So here's New England. Okay, and all they've done is cash over bets, over. 12-1-1 to the over the last 14 years. I did cash an under ticket with them the 1 year where they stayed under, and I think that was by a hook. But the totals haven't been this high. You don't see totals of 12.5 in the NFL. At 12.5 wins, at the current number, the Patriots, the best franchise in the league, would have cashed 8 unders and only 6 overs in the last 14 years, Pauly. That is significant. And when you talk about a squad that is the most public team in the NFL and the defending Super Bowl champs, and they went 13-3 against the spread last year, and then 3-0 against the spread in the playoffs, so 16-3 against the spread for the season, this is not a team you're likely to find many point spread bargains with. I know the Patriots have been really good, and everyone loves their offseason. We'll talk about it right here. But, man, 12.5 is too high, Pauly. It legitimately is. And I understand why the markets have to price it that way, but it matters. You know, the number itself matters, and 12.5 is the highest win total that we've seen in quite some time.
Only 3 games decided by less than a touchdown. The Super Bowl, the late game against the Jets on the road when they took a knee 3 times, first and goal from the 3, and then week 1 against Arizona with Garoppolo. Mainstream stats, 23 takeaways, 11 giveaways, plus 12 margin. That was 3rd in the league. Offense, 5.9 yards per play on offense. That was 6th in the NFL. 3.9 yards per rush, 25th. Blunt had 18 touchdowns, but that's not what they like to do. 8.1 yards per pass, that was 3rd. Defense, 84.3 QB rating allowed was 8th. 34 sacks, right around league average. 3.9 yards per rush allowed, tied for 9th. Multiple edges for this organization, Teddy. Run them down.
Yeah, well, let's start with the giveaways, though. 11 giveaways for the entire season, Pauly. They only gave a ball, that's fumbles, interceptions, everything. You know, no wonder they had a plus 12 turnover margin last year. And the Patriots are a team we expect to have a positive turnover margin. But I don't expect any team to have only 11 giveaways over the course of a full season. I have to expect that number to go up this year. And then, you know, you talk about the 3.9 yards per rush. That's just proof that the NFL is not a run-first league. Brady only sacked 24 times last year. You know, number 3 in the NFL in yards per pass. And defensively, the numbers are solid. But when you talk about the edges, and these are not edges that you're going to find when you look at personnel. All right, these are edges that New England has that basically no other team in the league has, and that's how the Patriots have been as good as they've been. Let's start with number 1. There's no disconnect whatsoever between the front coach, the front office, and the head coach. Belichick wants somebody, he gets somebody. It's that simple for New England. It's not that way in any other team in the National Football League, Pauly. And then you have veterans, you know, veterans who are chasing a ring. They're willing to sign New England for it. What did they get Chris Long for last year? $20? That doesn't happen in Miami. That doesn't happen in Buffalo. Ring chasers will sign with the Pats at below market rates. You know, and then what else do we have? We have the division. The AFC East has been a weaker division, literally a weaker than average division for decades. I went back to 2002, and every single year Every single year, Pauly, since 2002, the Patriots have had a winning record, 4-2 or better in division. Lots of years 5-1, lots of years 6-0. So it's a weak division. 4, the quarterback's not chasing money. Okay, Brady has made $196 million in football earnings, plus God knows how much in endorsements. He has a cap-friendly contract, ton of deferred money. The salary cap hit on New England for Brady last year was $13.7 million. That was $3 million less than the Niners paid for Colin Kaepernick and the Bears paid for Jay Cutler. It is an ultimate team-friendly contract, and that allows New England to spend their money to sign another player. And last but not least, the coaching staff continuity. Belichick doesn't make a lot of bad hires, and basically every impact coach from last year's team returns again this year. This isn't a team that's leapfrogging from system to system and multiple coaches and multiple coordinators, and these are all inherent advantages for New England, advantages that other teams just don't have.
When his wife was modeling, she made more than him, and it wasn't even close about Brady. How about that? Now, I had Trey Wingo on the VSiN show I do, and he said, hey, no one had a better offseason, and he's right. After winning the Super Bowl, they get Gilmore. They also add Gillislee. They kept Butler and Hightower. They traded for Brandon Cooks and Dwayne Allen. They're already stacked at wide receiver. The last thing they needed was another weapon like Cooks. They lost some people, though. Logan Ryan, but they replaced him with Gilmore. They got rid of Bennett, who went to Green Bay, replaced him with Allen as well. And then if something happens to Brady or they decide to move on, they still have, down the road, they still have Garoppolo to step right in and take over for him. And a lot of people in football love Garoppolo. What do you have on the schedule?
The last thing about the Patriots before we get to schedule is, of course, the draft. I mean, with all those trades, when you're trading for Brandon Cooks and you're trading for Dwayne Allen and all that, they basically had very little left for the draft. They only made 4 picks, and they were all on the lines, 2 on the offensive line, 2 on the defensive line. So not necessarily an impact draft for New England, but when it comes to veteran talent, no question, this team is loaded. And, of course, they do have that Garoppolo chit if they choose to cash it. Now, from a schedule standpoint, last year, surprise, surprise, and it seems to happen a lot with New England because they get to beat up on their own division. They played one of the weakest schedules in the NFL in 2016. This year, it's much closer to at least a league average schedule. Not tough. It's still not tough because they play 6 games against AFC East foes that are all lined as sub-500 squads. And, you know, the AFC East faces the NFC South and the AFC West. Those are 2 relatively tough divisions. 7 of the 8 teams lined at 8 wins or higher. San Diego at 7.5. So they're all right there. And there are 2 extra games, both against quality teams, Houston and at Pittsburgh. A weird scheduling dynamic in this regard, Pauly. There's only one home game, only one game in Foxborough for New England between Halloween and Christmas Eve.
Have you seen that before? They play 5 out of 6 on the road.
Yeah, with a bye in the mix, too. Yes, I have seen it before. They do have a 1 3-game road trip. Doesn't happen a lot.
The bye's week 9. They go at Denver, at Mexico City for the Raiders, Miami at home, then at Buffalo, at Miami, at Pittsburgh. There's no bye in there.
I know. It's a tough spot. And look, the road slate out of division, you have the Bucs, the Texans, the Saints, the Broncos, and the Raiders in Mexico City. That's not easy. You know, that's not a joke. Again, we're still talking league average based on the overall strength of the overall schedule situation, but it is not a spot for where you're going to look at New England and say, yeah, this schedule is really easy like it was last year. It is a good notch or 2 tougher, regardless of how much you love their offseason moves.
All right, tomorrow, hopefully we're previewing the finals, and we'll also preview the Jets. Peter King thinks they're the worst team in football coming up. Money time, hold your nose for this one. Back to the Patriots. Oh, no, what are you doing?
No, I'm not holding my nose. Look at Belichick's look right there. Look at all those seasons we had where New England won 12 games and 11 games and 10 games. Patriots still going to be good. 12.5 is too high. It is the wrong total for this team. The markets have overreacted. Markets have adjusted. Now bettors must adjust. You like them over? That's great. You got it in your pocket? Even better. Right now, we'll take New England under 12.5 wins. That's our play of the day.
We're loaded tonight. Google Hangout every Thursday, 8 o'clock Pacific. Get in here, answer questions. If you can't be part of it live, go back and watch it. They always post it on SBR and YouTube, and we tweet it out. It's going to be fun. We could be previewing the finals. We'll give you a lot of great stats in Major League Baseball. We'll talk some NFL if you want as well, and we could we could have some college football stuff to go over as well. Well, I know Chris Andrews at the South Point's been working hard. We'll talk to you then on SportsBit, Betting Insight today on SBRPicks.com. Hey guys, for the full video, go to SBRPicks.com.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.